A sign stands quietly at the entrance of the U.S. Army Mountain Warfare School. Its message is simple but chilling. The gods of the valleys are not the gods of the hills. For the soldiers who arrive here, that sentence is not philosophy. It is a warning about the deadly reality of mountain warfare. In the mountains, the rules of survival change completely. Skills that work perfectly on flat ground can fail catastrophically at altitude. Here, the environment itself becomes the most dangerous enemy a soldier will ever face. Hidden in the rugged terrain near Jericho, Vermont, the Mountain Warfare School exists for one purpose. It trains soldiers to fight, survive, and dominate some of the harshest terrain on Earth. The course transforms capable troops into highly specialized military mountaineers. The origins of this school trace back to painful lessons learned during World War II. American soldiers fighting through the Italian Alps realized how deadly mountain combat could be without proper training. Later wars in Korea and Afghanistan reinforced the same brutal truth again and again. Military planners eventually understood that standard training simply wasn't enough. Soldiers needed specialized instruction to survive steep slopes, frozen temperatures, and unpredictable weather. The result was the creation of one of the toughest training programs in the U.S. military. Every year, soldiers from across the United States military arrive here. Active duty troops, reservists, National Guard members, and allied foreign soldiers attempt the basic military mountaineer course. For 2 relentless weeks, the mountains become their classroom and their test. The winter session of the course is widely considered the most brutal. Temperatures plunge well below zero while powerful winds rip through the narrow valleys. Snow piles deep across the forest floor, turning every step into an exhausting struggle. Each soldier carries a heavy rucksack filled with climbing gear, survival equipment, and weapons. The packs often weigh 40 pounds or more at the beginning of training. By the second week, that weight can grow even heavier. At first, many soldiers arrive with confidence. Most believe their previous military training has prepared them for anything. The mountains quickly prove otherwise. While the phrase, "only 1% survive," is more dramatic than accurate, the course is still extremely demanding. Injuries, exhaustion, and mistakes caused by fatigue regularly force students to drop out. The mountains have a way of exposing weakness quickly. The instructors who run the course are experts in mountain operations. Many belong to the Vermont Army National Guard and the renowned 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, Mountain. Their experience has been earned through years of operating in unforgiving terrain. These instructors understand something every student must eventually learn. Cold weather is not just uncomfortable, it is deadly. Hypothermia and frostbite can disable a soldier faster than any enemy weapon. Because of this, the first lessons focus on survival rather than combat. Soldiers must first learn how to live in extreme cold before they can learn how to fight in it. Even small mistakes in clothing or movement can have dangerous consequences. Central to this training is the 7-layer cold weather clothing system. Each layer serves a specific function, from moisture control to insulation and protection from wind. Soldiers must constantly adjust these layers as they move. One rule is repeated again and again by instructors: stay dry. Sweat may seem harmless, but in freezing temperatures, it can quickly become lethal. Moisture freezes against the skin and drains body heat at a dangerous rate. For this reason, soldiers are taught to begin marches slightly cold. Their bodies will naturally warm up as they move through deep snow and steep terrain. Managing body temperature becomes a constant balancing act. Once students understand cold weather survival, they begin learning technical mountaineering skills. The most fundamental of these skills involves rope systems and knot tying. Hours are spent practicing with ropes while freezing winds whip across the training area. The knots soldiers learn are not decorative or theoretical. They are essential tools that can mean the difference between life and death on a cliff. A poorly tied knot could cause an anchor to fail at the worst possible moment. Students practice tying knots until the motions become automatic. They must be able to complete them quickly, even with numb fingers. In the mountains, hesitation can be dangerous. Shelter building is another critical survival skill taught during the course. Soldiers learn how to construct emergency A-frame shelters using skis, tarps, and climbing equipment. These structures protect them from wind and help conserve body heat. They also learn how to dig snow caves. At first glance, digging into snow may seem counterintuitive. In reality, snow caves can trap warmth and provide life-saving insulation. By the second week of training, the difficulty increases dramatically. Rucksacks grow heavier and the training schedule becomes more intense. Soldiers begin long marches through deep snow that test both endurance and determination. Fatigue begins to accumulate quickly. Muscles ache, fingers go numb, and sleep becomes a precious luxury. Even experienced soldiers begin to feel the pressure. This is when the course introduces its most intimidating phase: vertical movement. Soldiers are brought to towering rock faces coated with ice and snow. Many students feel their confidence vanish the moment they look down from the edge. Rappelling is the first major skill they must master. Soldiers lean backward over the edge of cliffs and descend hundreds of feet using ropes and harnesses. Trusting a single rope with your life requires absolute confidence in your equipment and training. Climbing follows soon after. Soldiers must scale steep rock faces using anchors, ropes, and specialized climbing systems. Every movement requires careful balance and strength. One of the most demanding techniques they learn is the Prusik ascent. Using loops of rope and upper body strength, soldiers climb upward along a suspended rope line. It is slow, exhausting, and physically punishing. Yet mountain warfare is never about individual strength alone. Soldiers must operate as coordinated teams in dangerous terrain. That means learning how to move and fight together in the mountains. One of the most exhausting team exercises focuses on casualty evacuation. In these drills, one soldier becomes a simulated casualty who must be rescued by the rest of the squad. Moving an injured teammate through mountains is incredibly difficult. Teams must rig complex rope systems and pulleys. Using a stretcher called a seaked litter, they haul casualties up steep slopes or lower them down cliffs. Every movement must be controlled and precise. These exercises quickly expose mistakes caused by fatigue. A single poorly tied knot or misplaced anchor could endanger an entire team. Because of this, instructors watch every step closely. Each training class usually loses several students during this stage. Some suffer injuries while others simply cannot maintain the required pace. Mountain warfare demands both endurance and discipline. Eventually, the training builds toward its final challenge. Soldiers participate in a multi-day field exercise that combines every skill they have learned. It is the ultimate test of their abilities. During this phase, small teams patrol through dense snow-covered forests. Navigation becomes extremely difficult because the snow hides trails and landmarks. Soldiers must rely heavily on terrain recognition. History provides powerful examples of why these skills matter. Instructors often reference the famous tactics used during the Winter War. In that conflict, Finnish troops used skis and deep knowledge of frozen terrain to defeat much larger Soviet forces. Those lessons still apply today. Soldiers learn to move quietly on snowshoes and skis while using terrain for concealment. The environment itself becomes a tactical advantage. During the final exercise, teams establish patrol bases deep in the wilderness. They operate from large 10-man Arctic tents that provide limited warmth. These tents become their temporary command centers. Inside the tents, soldiers plan patrol routes and conduct mission briefings. Outside, the cold never stops pressing in. Frostbite and exhaustion remain constant threats. Somewhere during this final stage, something begins to change. The soldiers who once struggled to walk through deep snow now move confidently across the terrain. Their skills have become instinctive. They adjust their clothing layers without thinking. They check each other for signs of frostbite or injury. They move through the mountains like experienced mountaineers. When the final march out of the mountains begins, the mood is quiet and reflective. The soldiers are physically exhausted, but mentally stronger than when they arrived. They know they have survived something rare. Graduation from the course is simple and modest. There are no large parades or elaborate ceremonies. Instead, instructors gather the graduates for a small recognition event. Each graduate receives the Skill Qualification Identifier E. This designation officially marks them as trained military mountaineers within the U.S. Army. It is a respected professional qualification. But the most meaningful symbol they receive is much smaller. Graduates are awarded the ram's head device, a pin representing the mountain ram. Within the mountain warfare community, it is a powerful symbol of endurance. The ram's head signifies more than technical skill. It represents resilience, determination, and the ability to survive the harshest environments. Those who wear it have proven themselves in the mountains. Each year, more than 500 soldiers complete this demanding training. They return to their units with specialized knowledge few others possess. Their mission is to share what they have learned. These graduates become instructors and leaders in mountain operations. They teach fellow soldiers how to move, fight, and survive in extreme terrain. Their knowledge makes entire units more effective. The mountains leave a lasting mark on everyone who trains here. Soldiers arrive as confident fighters from other environments. They leave as humbled mountaineers who understand the power of nature. And they carry with them the lesson written on that sign at the entrance. The gods of the valleys are not the gods of the hills. In the mountains, respect for the terrain is the first step toward survival.